This is OPEC HQ in Vienna, Austria, the beating heart of global oil diplomacy. And for the first time, we're going behind the scenes. Your Excellency, thanks so much for having me here today.
Pleasure, Dan. Welcome to OPEC.
Secretary-General Haitham Al-Ghais knows this building and this business inside out. Since 2022, he's led OPEC through price shocks, shifting alliances, and one of the most unpredictable oil markets in decades. OPEC's story began over 60 years ago, when 5 founding nations took control of their resources and changed the oil game.
The OPEC was created back then by the 5 founders, as you know: Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, Iran, Iraq, and Kuwait. Yes, it was created for a specific purpose. The core objective and the core purpose of the organization still remains very valid, but OPEC evolves with the changing dynamics. And this is why it's important to have an organization like OPEC. And now with the wider group, the OPEC Plus group of producers, it's important to have such responsible countries that are in charge of such a vital commodity for the world economy, for global economic growth and prosperity. We are there to make sure that there's stability in this market. Can you imagine? And I always say this to people who say OPEC's existence is not relevant or so. I say, well, imagine the world without OPEC, or imagine the world without those decisions that were taken, and then you will probably say thank you for OPEC.
Our tour takes us to the research hub, where the team is working on the next monthly oil market report, which is watched by energy policymakers around the world. Then it's down to the inner sanctum, where oil cuts are debated, alliances tested, and markets are moved. So, Your Excellency, this is the room where it all happens.
Indeed, Dan. I mean, this is, of course, a very private meeting room, exclusive in nature, as you know. This is also a room where we had some very famous and historical meetings, actually, like back in 2019 when the Charter of Cooperation was signed.
So you must have seen some pretty heated conversations inside this room over the years.
Well, I wouldn't call them heated, actually, but there is always a debate, and that's natural. I mean, in any organization, any boardroom, any meeting room, you will have a difference of opinions, you'll have a discussion, and it's all done in a very cordial, respectful way. And unlike some of the stuff you may read in some of the media, unfortunately, but it's all done very respectfully. And we always walk out of these rooms, either from these doors or these doors, with an agreement and a successful meeting. So, yeah, no, I wouldn't call them heated.
Nowadays, most meetings are held online, and access to OPEC and its seminar is increasingly controlled. I asked the Secretary-General why some media are excluded altogether.
I think that's a very good question, and gives me the opportunity to address this, actually. We have actually 28 media partners almost from all over the world. This is an invitation-only event, and our officials from member countries are free to speak to whoever they wish to speak to.
OPEC remains a lightning rod, a market stabilizer to some, a price fixer to others, but the group insists it's no cartel. With markets evolving fast, I ask about OPEC's long game. What do you think this group looks like by 2050?
Well, I think based on our projections in 2050, we see the call for declaration of cooperation countries and OPEC, of course. The call on crude and oil from those countries will rise, because we do see by 2030, in the mid-2030s, starting of the decline in non-DOC production, predominantly in the United States and other non-DOC producers. And that, of course, means that we will have a bigger market share in the future by 2050. And that, of course, means that we will have to be ready for that time, because, as you said, and as we showed in the WU, demand will be rising to 123 million barrels a day. So we have to step in to be able to provide that demand, meaning we have to invest. Our member countries are clear and steadfast on their plans to invest. We are getting ready for the time when there is going to be more demand for our oil and to provide that energy to the world. So I do see this group continuing to stick together. I mean, we have been, OPEC, as I said in the beginning, is evolving as dynamics change, as market fundamentals change. And I think it's important to keep that focus with us now. We have established this declaration of cooperation mechanism and this closeness, and we are open to working with other producers.